Marking and cutting of sleeves for the uniform shirt. As we have constructed the pattern for the sleeves of a uniform shirt, we will now see how to mark and cut the pattern on fabric. At the end of this session, you will be able to mark pattern for shirt sleeves on fabric, cut the pattern for shirt sleeves. First, let's familiarize with the tools and materials required for marking and cutting the pattern on fabric. They are half meter of white uniform fabric, pattern square, L square, tailor's chalk, French curve, measuring tape, and shears. Let's see how to mark the pattern of sleeves on fabric. First, let's correct this shaped cut edge from cutting of the front piece to a right angle to the selvage edge with the help of a L square. From the cut edge, measure 6 1/4 inches and make a mark. Holding on to this mark, fold the fabric over along the lengthwise grain. The fold indicates the side of the sleeve and is the baseline for drafting. The point where the cut edge and the fold meet is point 1. From point 1, measure the sleeve length including seam allowance of 6 3/8 inches and make a mark. This is point 0. From point 0, draw a right angle line to the baseline. Then from point 0, measure 5 3/4 inches along this line and make a mark. This is point 2. Similarly, from point 1, measure 5 3/4 inches and make a mark to get point 3. Connect points 2 and 3 in a straight line. Now find the midpoint of line 0, 2 and make a mark. This is point 4. Again find the midpoint of 0, 4 and make a mark. This is point 5. Measure the length 2, 4. Here it is 3 inches. Now starting from point 2, measure the same length, that is 3 inches downward and make a mark. This is point 6. From point 5, measure 1/4 inch down and make a mark to get point 7. This is for the shaping of the front sleeve head. From point 4, measure 3/4 inch down and make a mark for shaping the back sleeve head. This is point 8. Then from point 8, again measure 3/4 inch down and make a mark for shaping the front sleeve head. This will be point 9. Now shape the front sleeve head and back sleeve head using French curve as shown here. From point 1, measure 1 inch upward and make a mark. This is point 10. From point 3, measure 1 inch upward and make a mark. This is point 11. Connect points 10 and 11 in a straight line. From point 11, measure ½ inch along this newly drawn line and make a mark. This is point 12. Connect points 6 and 12 in a straight line. And connect points 12 and 3 in a straight line. Thus we have completed marking of sleeves for the uniform shirt. Now we can cut along the drafted lines of the sleeve. Start cutting from the side seam and along the back sleeve head. Thus we have got one sleeve for the uniform shirt. To get the other sleeve, we need to copy this sleeve pattern onto the fabric. For that, open the sleeve and place it over a single layer fabric with the right side facing each other. The straight cut edge should align with the grain of the straight cut edge. Then cut along the cut edges of the first sleeve, including the still uncut drafted lines of the front sleeve head. About halfway of the front sleeve head, fold the cut edges and snip a little corner off to indicate the front of the sleeve. And again fold the cut edges where the previous fold was at the highest point of the sleeve head and snip a little corner off. This is where the shoulder seam and the sleeve head join while sewing. Thus we have completed the cutting of sleeves for the uniform shirt. In this session we have marked and cut fabric for making sleeves for a uniform shirt. Before we conclude, let's take a look at the key steps involved in marking and cutting pattern for the sleeves of the uniform shirt on fabric. They are: Step 1. Mark the pattern of one sleeve on fabric. Step 2. Cut along the drafted lines to get one sleeve. Step 3. Trace the pattern of sleeve again, keeping the right sides facing each other to get the other sleeve. Step 4. Cut along the drafted lines to get the second sleeve also. Step 5. Snip a little corner off about halfway of the front sleeve head. Step 6. Again snip a little corner off at the highest point of the sleeve head. Thus, we have come to the end of this session.